From September of 2023 to June of 2024, over 155,000 adult, prominently males, were between the ages of 18 to 35 who crossed our border illegally, were bused and dropped onto the streets of San Diego County. That's an average of almost 600 per day, 7 days a week for 9 months. No community, no county, no country can sustain that type of an invasion of people crossing our borders illegally and being released into our communities without proper screening or vetting. I saw firsthand large vans and buses driven by Border Patrol agents pull into a San Diego County transit station and unload hundreds of people at a time. People who had just hours ago illegally crossed our borders stepped off a shuttle and were free to go into our communities, ahead of anyone legally trying to enter our country. The first question for many people that I approached at the transit stations was, where am I? And how do I get to Virginia, New York, or Denver? In Jacumba, California, a small border community about 50 miles east of San Diego, I came upon an early morning encampment of approximately 50 people who illegally crossed the border the night before. They were waiting for the Border Patrol to pick them up and process them and then potentially be dropped in our streets. One man from India, traveling with his friends, said he paid $8,000 to an entity in India for the unimpeded passage across our southern border. That same morning in Jacumba, a Border Patrol agent told us that a group was coming across the border within the next half an hour. Soon, a black Suburban on the Mexico side of our broken fence sped across a dirt road, stopped, and dropped off about a dozen people, and then sped away. Men, women, and children wearing backpacks and pulling luggage crossed our border illegally, merely walking through a hole in the fence, approached the Border Patrol agent, and asked for asylum. Our Border Patrol has been reduced to processing agents, standing by, watching people break our laws. One officer told me with deep frustration that his orders from the federal government were clear: stand down, do not engage, just process. What's more alarming is what my team saw later was dozens of Chinese nationals dragging luggage down dirt roads at night. And this is not an isolated incident. This is a daily reality in San Diego County. Border Patrol has become their Uber driver from the border into the city of San Diego, and San Diego County has become their nationwide travel agents at the taxpayers' expense. San Diego County itself, we spent $6 million to set up a migrant receiving center to assist those dropped here, to move them more quickly to other parts of the country. These were local dollars that could have been spent on roads, infrastructure, and parks. Migrants slept in San Diego Airport. They stay in our homeless shelters, and our hospital and healthcare systems are strained. But what concerns me even more is our safety as a community and a country. Border Patrol agents do not have the time or resources or the ability to properly vet millions coming across our borders. I have witnessed and have brought samples of torn and shredded legal ID cards and passports that Mexico requires and we do not. These remnants and ID cards are left on the ground within the first few steps into the U.S. With no documentation, our agents cannot be sure of their countries of origin, restricting background checks and jeopardizing our safety. What really keeps me up at night are the gotaways, the one who illegally cross our borders, who don't ask for asylum. They bypass our Border Patrol. They come onto our shores, smuggling children and drugs by jet skis and boats. Boats are literally driven onto our beaches, abandoned, and the occupants run into our communities unimpeded because we are a sanctuary state. We have no idea who they are, where they're going, what their intentions are. They come and poof, disappear, making our county and our country unsafe. I want to close with a warning for those here today. Most of the people crossing the border illegally do not stay in San Diego County. We're the doormat. They disperse across the country. They are headed to states and cities across the United States with potentially very dangerous nationwide implications. The Biden-Harris administration created this mess, and they refuse to acknowledge it. The administration is not properly vetting the millions of people let into our communities, and they are making our border counties and our nation unsafe.